All right, I want to talk about elements of enjoyment, and this is based on concept by Mihaly Csikszentmihalyi. I'm not exactly sure how you pronounce it, but I'm pretty sure the first one is Mihaly, or Mahai. Mahai, actually, I think it's Mahai. Um, so he did this crazy survey of like 1,000 different ethnic groups and people in different countries, and trying to find out what means enjoyment, what equals enjoyment, and the bottom line is he kind of came down to creativity equals enjoyment. He didn't call it creativity; he called it flow, though. Flow. So what's flow? Flow is a state of effortless concentration and enjoyment. It's a form of mental energy, and it requires involvement rather than passive appreciation. All right? And he found, I forget, there's some little tiny village up, I think, in the Alps or someplace around there, some northern Europe, where he found was the happiest place on earth, because every day, every member of that village is in a constant state of flow, that they just are so wrapped up in their work, and so active that they're very happy people. So let's talk about elements of enjoyment. He had 8 elements of enjoyment. So to get to flow, you need an activity that, number 1, challenges your skills. It needs to be balanced. You need to have some that are, you can't have it too difficult, because then you're going to want to give up. It can't be easy all the time, because then there's no challenge and you don't enjoy it. It needs to be an activity that completely absorbs your attention. So whether we're talking about work, whether we're talking about particular activity, whether we're talking about a learning exercise for students, you want to really enjoy the activity. It needs to absorb your complete attention. It needs to have clear goals. When students or learners or we workers understand exactly what completion means, then we can enjoy it when we know that what the end is going to look like. It should have immediate feedback. Now, it doesn't have to be immediate feedback from a teacher per se. We can give ourselves immediate feedback. As we're going through something, we can say, "Oh, that's lousy," or "Oh, that's great idea. I want to keep working on that." But somehow there's immediate feedback. But that doesn't mean, now, again, let me repeat, immediate feedback does not necessarily mean from your superior, from your boss, from your teacher. Immediate feedback usually means from ourselves. The activity should cause us to forget everyday worries and troubles. We're going to ignore all the distractions. We just want to work on this activity. We find it so engaging, so entertaining. That's all we think about when we forget about all the other worries. And related to that, the activity should give us a sense of control. So we don't really worry about failure, because we know we're in control of what's happening. And in that sense, we feel like we have control and can be successful. Similarly, related, the activity should cause us to lose self-consciousness. So what that means is we don't worry about what we look like. We're not worried about our own, looking cool or something. In the end, when we're done with everything, usually this actually increases our self-esteem. We usually feel better about ourselves. But in the moment, in the activity, we're not really thinking about that. We're just thinking about the activity. And we're not really thinking about whether we're going to look good or not, whether our team looks good or not. we're just thinking about the activity. And then the number 8, the activity should alter our sense of duration of time so that when we're working on it, we're just lost in that activity and we forget what time it is. So try to think about the last time that you've had an activity like that, where that meets most of these requirements, if not all of these requirements. All right, this is part 2 of the elements of enjoyment. Sorry, this is part 1 of the elements of